I walked into this church for the first time in 41 years. Sat right here in this back pew, and I cried for an hour straight. The kind of crying where your whole body shakes and you can't stop it even if you wanted to. And it wasn't because I missed God. It was because I finally understood what leaving God cost me. Let me tell you how I got here. I was a good woman once. Church every Sunday.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like.
Loved my husband, loved my kids, but it didn't remain like this for long. I grew up Baptist in Macon, Georgia. My mama had me in that church before I could walk. Sunday mornings, Wednesday evenings, summer Bible camp, vacation Bible school. I knew every hymn before I could do math. And I believed with everything I had. God was real. God was good. God was watching. That wasn't just something I said. That was everything to me. That was my whole foundation. I married Daniel when I was 23. Same church my parents got married in. Same pastor. I remember looking at him at that altar thinking, God gave me this man. We had 2 children, Marcus first, then Karen 3 years later. We weren't rich. Daniel worked at the plant. I was a receptionist at a dental office for 28 years. Same desk, same chair, but we had enough. We had each other, had the kids, had God. And you know, for a while, that was enough. Then Marcus got sick. He was 14, leukemia. The doctor said it like he was reading a grocery list. I remember standing in that hallway, and the floor just dropped out from under me. I grabbed Daniel's arm so hard I left bruises. And that night, I got on my knees and I prayed harder than I've ever prayed in my life. I said, God, you heal my boy. You hear me? You heal him. I did everything right. I followed the rules. I was faithful to you my whole life. You owe me this. I prayed like that for 7 months, every single night, on my knees on that cold bathroom floor so the kids wouldn't hear me, bargaining, begging, screaming into a towel some nights. Marcus died on a Thursday in April. He was 15. And that night, standing in my kitchen at 2 in the morning, still wearing the clothes I wore to the hospital, I looked up at the ceiling and I said, I'm done with you. You had one job, protect my child, and you didn't, so I'm done. I didn't leave God angry. I left him cold, like shutting a door and deciding you're never going to open it again. And something died in me with Marcus that night, but I didn't know yet what it would turn me into. You know what happens when you take the fence down? You don't notice at first. You feel free. That's how it starts. The rules you followed your whole life, suddenly they feel like suggestions. Then they feel like nothing. It started small. I stopped saying grace before meals, stopped reading my Bible, stopped going to Wednesday service, then Sunday service. Then I stopped going to church entirely. Daniel noticed. He said, Lauren, you need the church right now more than ever. And I looked at that man and I said, the church let my son die. Don't you dare tell me what I need. And you know, once you've decided God isn't watching, you start making different choices. Not all at once, slowly, like water dripping behind a wall. You don't see the damage until everything's already soft. There was a man at work, Tom. He was kind to me after Marcus died, and I told myself I deserved kindness. Told myself Daniel didn't understand my grief. Told myself a lot of things. I started an affair with Tom when I was 40 years old, and I lied to Daniel's face about it for 3 years. 3 years. Every morning, sitting across from him at that kitchen table, drinking coffee, looking him in the eye, and lying. You know how people say they felt guilty? I didn't. Not at first. Because I'd already decided there was nobody to answer to. No God, no judgment, no consequences. Just me and what I wanted. And what I wanted was to feel something other than grief. Daniel found out on a Saturday. I don't know how. He never told me. He didn't yell, didn't throw things. He just packed a bag. One bag. Stood at the front door and looked at me and said, "I don't know who you are anymore." And he left. That look, I still see it. It wasn't anger. It was worse. It was confusion. Like he was trying to figure out who I was. Like I wasn't the woman he married anymore. You're listening to this and you're thinking, she's a terrible person. And you're right. But stay with me. Because the worst part isn't what I just told you. The worst part is what I did to my daughter. I said 4 words to my daughter in 1994. She's 52 now. She still hasn't forgiven me. Karen was 22. She came home one weekend and she tried to talk to me about going back to church. She said, "Mama, I think it would help you." And something in me just snapped. I'd been drinking by then. Not a lot at first, but enough. Enough to make me mean. And I looked at my daughter, my only living child, and I said, "You're weak, just like your father." 4 words. "You're weak like him." She didn't say anything. She just picked up her purse and walked out. Moved to Seattle 3 weeks later. And I told myself, she'll come back. She'll get over it. She didn't. She hasn't. And the drinking got worse. And I borrowed money from a friend of 20 years and never paid her back. Just decided I didn't owe her. And I lied in court during the divorce because I was angry. I took things that weren't mine, said things I didn't mean, hurt people who didn't deserve it. And every single time I told myself the same thing. It doesn't matter. Nobody's watching. There are no rules. You know how people talk about rock bottom? They always describe it like some dramatic moment. A car wreck, an arrest, a breakdown. But I'm going to tell you something. My rock bottom was a Tuesday morning in an empty kitchen. And it was the quietest thing you ever heard. I woke up, made coffee, set 2 cups on the table out of habit, and then realized there was nobody to drink the other one. Daniel was gone, had been gone for years. Karen was 3,000 miles away. Marcus was in the ground. My friends, I'd driven them all away, every single one. I sat at that table and I looked at that empty cup and I thought, I did this. Not God, not life, not bad luck. Me. Every choice I made after I walked away from God led me here, to this chair, to this silence, to this empty cup. Now let me tell you the moment God got me back. It wasn't a miracle. It wasn't a sign. It was a bent clasp on a necklace. I went to the bedroom closet, top shelf. There was a jewelry box I hadn't opened in, decades. My mama gave me a gold cross necklace when I was 16. I took it off in 1979, the night Marcus died, threw it in that box and shut the lid. I opened the box, and there it was, this little gold cross on a thin chain. The clasp was bent shut from being force closed 41 years ago. I sat on the bedroom floor, and I held it, and my hands wouldn't stop shaking. I forced that clasp open, put it around my neck. It felt, I don't know how to say it, like something clicking back into place. I drove to the church, the same one. It was still there, smaller than I remembered. I walked in and sat in the last pew in the back, and I just broke. I cried and I couldn't stop. The pastor came and sat next to me. didn't say a word, just sat there. And after a long time I said, I've done terrible things. And he said, he knows. He's been waiting. I didn't come back to God because I was holy. I came back because I had nothing left. God didn't destroy my life. I destroyed my life. He was just the only one still willing to sit with me after I did. People say it's never too late. That's a beautiful thing to say. Let me tell you what it's too late for. Daniel died in 2020. I found out from Karen. She called me on a Wednesday evening and said, Daddy's gone. Heart attack. And I sat on the edge of my bed and I thought, I never apologized. Not once. In all those years, I never picked up the phone and said, Daniel, I'm sorry. I betrayed you. I lied to you. You deserve better. He died without hearing that. And that's on me. Karen calls twice a year. My birthday and Christmas. We talk for maybe 10 minutes. She's polite, distant, like talking to a neighbor you wave to but don't really know. She has 2 children I've met 3 times. My grandchildren. They call me Miss Lauren. Not Grandma, Miss Lauren. The friends are gone, every one of them. When you've hurt enough people, eventually there's nobody left. Coming back to God saved my soul. I believe that with everything I have. I pray now, every morning, every night. I read my Bible again. I go to that same church every Sunday, and I sit in the back pew because I still don't feel like I've earned the front. But coming back to God, it didn't save my life. I'd already burned that down. The years don't come back, neither do the people. And the things I said, I can't take any of them back. Every morning, I set 2 places at the kitchen table. One for me, one empty. I don't know who it's for anymore. Daniel, Karen, Marcus, God. Maybe all of them. Maybe it's for the woman I was before all this. You know, I'm not telling you this so you feel sorry for me. I don't deserve that. I'm telling you this because some of you are where I was. You've taken the fence down. You've walked away from God, or you're thinking about it. You've started making choices you know are wrong, and you're telling yourself it doesn't matter because nobody sees it. Somebody sees it. And even if nobody did, you see it. And it's doing something to you. Slowly, quietly, like a leak you don't fix until the whole floor is gone. When you remove God from your life, you don't just lose faith, you lose the fence. The thing that keeps you honest when nobody's looking. The thing that makes you pause before you do something you can't undo. And without that fence, you will walk into places you never thought you'd go. I promise you that. Because I was a good woman, and look what I became. If you've walked away from God, from the people who love you, from the person you used to be, go back. Not tomorrow, not next Sunday, now. Because the longer you wait, the less there is to come back to. The door is open. It was always open. I just spent 41 years pretending I didn't need to walk through it. Don't be like me. Don't wait until the kitchen is empty.